All right, folks, how you doing? Welcome back. So yesterday I decided to sit down and tabulate where I'm at with all these presentations on the auxiliary channels, and it's quite interesting. Sometimes, it pays off just to sit down with a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper and just write things down. So starting off with the first auxiliary channel, Tribe of Judah. No surprise, it's the largest channel because it deals with the connections between, you know, the Judeo-Normans and Scotland. Now, that's a designation which I think I just kind of made up myself. I don't think it really exists beyond the borders of my own brain. But, this is how I refer to these families who came over with William the Conqueror and later the conversos who came out of Iberia, the two waves of migration talked about in when Scotland was Jewish, which became the powerful Scottish clans like Bruce and Douglas and Forbes and Caldwell and Campbell, etc., etc. Also the what they called the Sinclairs is another one. Um, the Frasers, of course, to whom I belong. So this is the largest of the auxiliary channels, and it's standing at 77% complete at the moment. And you can see it completely eclipses the other channels in size. I mean, a lesson I learned from my father, and that's where I get my Sephardic lineage from, is that people love to talk about themselves. Well, in essence, Tribe of Judah is me talking about my own heritage and also talking about the broader heritage, the historical lineage of the Scottish people. After that comes Academy of the Hellenes, which is clearly the smallest, and I always kind of knew that anyway. One of the theories of Commons Beaumont, and this is really a big linchpin in his works, in The Great Deception and in Britain, the Key to World History, is that the Hebrews and the Hellenistic peoples are actually one and the same, which is a very radical theory. You don't really get it outside of Commons Beaumont. I've seen no one else proposing this. So it's the smallest of the four auxiliaries, but it's still very important and very crucial. But the thing is, there's a lot of overlap between the first two, between Tribe of Judah and Academy of the Hellenes, because they're largely coming from the same sources, particularly The Great Deception by Beaumont. After that, the most important, I would say, in terms of politics and theology, is College of Constantine, and the most controversial. This is the one, if any, that's going to piss people off and get under their skin. And I'm thinking like half the content of College of Constantine is going to have to be Rumble. I don't think I could get away with putting it up on YouTube, quite frankly, because none of it is my opinion. I do have to preface by saying that, but you know, there's a reason why I'm presenting all this kind of stuff. It goes into like the origins of the monotheistic religions like Judaism and Christianity. It goes into like the different cults of the ancient world, like the stellar and the solar cult and the lunar and the feminine and all the rest. So, like I say, this is going to be the one that kind of stirs people up. So, I'm not really sure where to upload the videos when it comes to that one. Like I say, I think a lot of that's going to be Rumble. Now, Scribe of the Midraim is where I've kind of fallen behind a little bit for a rather daft reason, really. I was kind of struggling with what color to make the slides because I was going with gold, but then that's too kind of faded, and then I was going with dark gold, and finally I just settled on orange, so I had to redo them all. And that's quite a sizable channel as well. It's only slightly smaller than College of Constantine, and that goes into the whole history of the Mizraim, ancient Egypt, and Beaumont's interpretation of ancient Egypt. And that's the one where I've kind of fallen behind the most, only 50%. Whereas College of Constantine is the one that I've made the most progress on, and that's the one that I'm kind of the most invested in and the most apprehensive about. I don't want to say scared of, but I'm not really scared of it. I'm a little bit weary of how people are going to respond to some of the content on that channel. From a personal perspective, Tribe of Judah is the one I'm most invested in because I'm literally talking about myself, my own heritage, and my own identity, and my own country, and my own lineage. College of Constantine is the one that's, gonna crack everything open, really expose the true origins of modern religions and politics and all this kind of thing. It's the most controversial, definitely. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.